In modern cycling, few names strike fear into the hearts of rivals such as Tadej Pogacar. At just 26 years old, the Slovenian superstar is on the brink of an almost mythical milestone in the modern age: 100 professional victories. While many greats have reached this mark, few have done so with such relentless consistency and dominance and versatility. How did Tadej Pogacar amass such a talent in such a short time? How does he compare to the legends of the past, and what does this tell us about his place in cycling history? But before that, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel here on the Cycling Dane, and let's get into it. Pogacar's professional debut was with UAE Emirates after he won the Tour de l'Avenir in 2018, and his neo-pro season was nothing short of spectacular, with many young riders taking years to find their feet. This was not the case for Tadej Pogacar, as his first win came in the Vuelta al Garve, taking a stage win on stage 2 and defending that lead to take the victory overall. And it wasn't long before he got his next victory, and that came at the Amgen Tour of California, where he was up there towards the front but won on stage 6 after a mishap from Sergio Higuita and taking the overall in the process as well. He won the Tour of California, making history as he was the youngest winner of the race at just 20 years old. He even went to his national championships and won the individual time trial, but it was at the Vuelta a España where he made real ripples in the world of cycling. His big statement, however, came at the Vuelta a España, still a neo-pro, and in his first Grand Tour, he won not only one stage, but 3 brutal mountain stages, showcasing his extraordinary climbing ability and race intelligence, which secured him 3rd overall and the white jersey as well. These performances in his neo-pro season signaled the arrival of a generational talent, as he'd already racked up 8 wins. The 2020 season was heavily impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, but that didn't stop Pogacar from making history. He started the year with an overall victory at the Tour Valenciana, where he outsprinted Valverde on stage 2 and had a blistering attack on stage 4 that saw him once again win, followed by stage wins as well in the UAE Tour before that race was halted. When the season did resume, he had an intense battle with Primož Roglič for the national road race title in Slovenia, but came out second. But the young Pogacar did manage to take home his national time trial title. Pogacar exploded onto the scene at the Tour de France that year as well, where he managed to win 3 stages, including a legendary stage on the La Planche de Belfi, and that also meant that he not only won the stage but snatched the yellow jersey away from Primož Roglič on the penultimate stage, and he defended that to become the 2nd youngest Tour de France winner ever and the first rider to win on debut since 1983. His dominance in the stage races and Grand Tours was already clear, as he'd combined climbing prowess with tactical brilliance, and in his 2nd year he managed to take 9 victories, taking his career total up to 17. In 2021, it was clear Pogacar wasn't just a Tour de France winner, he was the most complete rider in the peloton perhaps already. He opened the season with an overall victory at the UAE Tour, winning a mountain stage along the way. He then stormed through the Tirreno Adriatico, taking the overall and a crucial summit finish victory on the Pranto di Tivo, demonstrating his superior climbing form early in the year and being denied the win on stage 5 because of an extraordinary performance by Mathieu van der Poel. And of course, if you want to check more out about their rivalry, check this video out as well. He next went to the Tour of Basque Country, and here he managed to win on stage 3, but he didn't have enough to defeat the lethal duo of Jumbo-Visma with Roglič and Jonas Vingegaard, but finished 3rd overall. But that aside, Pogacar's first monument victory came shortly after at Liège-Bastogne-Liège, where he won an all-out sprint with Julien Philippe in a select group of favourites. His one-day racing ability were now on par with the best classic specialists in the world, and following this, he went on to dominate his home race, the Tour of Slovenia, and he was a victor on stage 2, and he let his teammate Diego Alisi win on stage 4, but he took the overall in the process of preparing for the Tour de France. At the Tour de France itself, this was a show of near complete dominance, as he claimed 3 stages along the way, including the stage 5 flat time trial that was supplemented with a crushing performance on the Col de Portet and the Los de Ardiden. He sealed his 2nd consecutive overall win with ease and took the yellow, white and polka dot jersey for the 2nd year in a row. He capped off his season with another monument win at his first Il Lombardia, where he launched the solo attack to outsprint Fausto Masnada. With victories across Grand Tours, monuments and stage races, 2021 was the year Pogacar cemented himself as one of the most versatile riders of his generation, and he had 13 victories. That meant that he went up to 30 victories in total. In 2022, Pogacar started by winning the UAE Tour once again, securing 2 victories along the way. He followed that up with an impressive display at Strade Bianche, where he attacked 50 kilometers out with a legendary win. Thereafter at Tirreno Adriatico, he dominated once again, seemingly forcing everyone to give up, and he took the overall title, supplemented with 2 stage victories. In the Classics campaign, he placed 4th in the Tour of Flanders before returning to winning ways at Tour of Slovenia, where he won stage 3 and won the finals stage as well in a sprint with Matej Morovic. Pogacar then headed to the Tour de France, where he was the clear favorite and won 3 stages early on, including atop of the Super Planche de Belfi and Périgord. However, he was ultimately beaten to the yellow jersey by Jonas Vingegaard, who cracked him on stage 11. Nevertheless, Pogacar still secured second. Despite this setback, Pogacar bounced back, winning the GP Montreal and almost winning the Giro d'Emilia before going on to win the Trevali Vassin and again winning Il Lombardia. This meant he won 16 races in total and taking his winning total up to 46. 2023 saw Pogacar start with gravel by winning the Clásica Jaén, and he continued his Spanish affair as he won the Vuelta a Andalucía with 3 stage victories and the overall, and he followed that up with a dominant performance at Paris-Nice, where he won 3 stages there, showcasing his climbing and time trial abilities. He then made history once more at the Tour of Flanders, where he managed to drop the classic specialists on the Haut-de-Quadremont to take his first monument on the cobbles. His Ardennes campaign was similarly dominant as he won Amstel Gold and Flèche Wallonne in commanding fashion, but he was denied Liège-Bastogne-Liège as he broke his wrist. He then came back and won both his national road race and the national time trial in preparation for the Tour. At the Tour de France, he won stage 6 and stage 20, showcasing his typical explosiveness, but ultimately he finished second to Jonas Vingegaard once more. Following the Tour, he had several races with no victories, but he was on the podium in the Coppa Zapatini and the Giro d'Emilia before he wrapped up the season with his 3rd win at Il Lombardia. That meant he finished the year with once more in double figures at 17 victories, and that took him up to 63 victories in his career. The following year, in 2024, began with a bang for Tadej Pogacar as he started at Strade Bianche, and he attacked from 81 kilometers out and held that all the way to the finish and had a huge winning margin to the chasing group. The next wins came in the Vuelta a Catalunya, where he won on stage 2, stage 3, stage 6, and even the final stage in Barcelona, and that meant that he sealed an incredible week with 4 stage victories in a week-long stage race, plus the overall and all the classifications. He continued the winning streak by sealing another Liège-Bastogne-Liège title after attacking on La Redoute before he went to his first Giro d'Italia, where once more the domination continued, winning 6 stages along the way, including a time trial win and even the stage with a double ascent of the Monte Grappa, and that meant that the pink dream had come true and Tadej Pogacar rode into Rome as the victor. His next race was the Tour de France, and once again it didn't take long for him to seal more wins, and this came on stage 4, where he attacked on the Galibier and soloed down the descent to his first stage win of the year. He also did win on stage 14 and stage 15 with ease before winning the final 3 stages of that year's Tour de France, up to the Isola 2000, Col de la Coyole, and an imperious performance on the final stage, which was a time trial from Monaco to Nice, where he sealed off his supreme dominance in the race, winning the yellow jersey in the process and completing for the first time since 1998 the Giro Tour double. But the Slovenian wasn't done for the year, as he went on to win the GP Montreal before a daring attack at the World Championships 100 kilometers out that wasn't brought back, so he won the rainbow jersey, becoming only the 3rd rider in history to seal the Triple Crown that was last done in 1987. In his new rainbow jersey, the Slovenian went to Bologna, and here he attacked ferociously on the San Luca climb to win the Giro d'Emilia for the first time. and he continued this streak in the Italian races as he was the strongest once again in Il Lombardia, winning the race for the 4th time in his career. This meant that he ended the season with 25 victories, most of any riders that year, and in only 58 days as well, which was quite an accomplishment, and taking his career tally up to 88 career wins. Then we come to 2025, and here he began the year once more with the UAE Tour, where he won 2 stages of the Jabal Hayes and the Jabal Hafid. And at Strade Bianche, once more, Tadej Pogacar was dominant, but he did feel the curse of the rainbow jersey as he hit the deck on a descent, but he still got up, brushed it off, and went on to drop Tom Pidcock and take the victory. And in the Tour of Flanders, we saw Tadej Pogacar put Mathieu van der Poel to the sword once more to win his 2nd edition of the race dominance on the Flandrian cobbles. And as we know, he also will be doing a lot of other races in 2025, including Paris-Roubaix. So the scary truth is that Pogacar is a winning machine, and with the form that he has, should be surpassing the 100 win mark in 2025. And there are only 2 active riders who have higher totals than him, and that is Arnaud Démare and Alexander Kristoff, who are also both sprinters, to put that in perspective. At this stage of his career, Pogacar has already surpassed many of the greats' career wins all out, like Alberto Contador, Vincenzo Nibali, Chris Froome, Fausto Coppi, and even Miguel Indurain, just in sheer wins. But someone like Eno is more comparable, who was a force in the Grand Tours and also in the one-day races. By Pogacar's age of 26, Eno only had about 70 wins, but didn't possess the same kind of dominance in the one-day races that we have seen Pogacar. That aside, the Badger did finish on 146 wins, proving that Pogacar's trajectory is unprecedented in the modern era, and someone that we could compare him with, Alejandro Valverde, who has not had anywhere near the same success as Tadej Pogacar in Tour de France success, did end up with 133 victories in total, but at Tadej Pogacar's age only had 35. So that means that if Tadej Pogacar carries on in a similar trajectory, we could see close to 200 wins by that standard. There's only one name who is better in terms of the statistics, and that is the greatest cyclist of all time, and that is of course Eddy Merckx. Eddy Merckx had already crossed the 100 win threshold at the age of 26, but his era was very different, where the calendar allowed for more victories. The cannibal went on to rack up an astonishing 525 career victories, an all-time record that seems impossible. While Pogacar may not reach such an astronomical total, his ability to win monuments, Grand Tours, stage races means that he's on the path that no other rider in the last 40 years has been able to follow. Cycling is witnessing history, and the scariest part of all, Pogacar is still only 26 and is far from finished. But with that is basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to see a direct comparison with Eddy Merckx and Tadej Pogacar, why not check out the video here or see more about his rivalry with Mathieu van der Poel. But with that's basically it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.